4 golds and 3 bronzes. That's what Nigeria got at the Youth Under 20 Championships over the weekend that went down in Nairobi, Kenya. They were victorious, and so were the likes of Chelsea Football Club and, of course, some other teams all across Europe. Welcome. This is the Arena. This is where we get to talk about stories emanating from the world of sports, as well as dabble into the business side of sports. And on today's show, we'll be talking about the Under 20 team that did Nigeria proud right there in Nairobi, Kenya. It's not the only thing we would be talking about. Some fan violence went down in Europe over the weekend. We'll take a look at that and take a look at results from across the big leagues in Europe. Yes, a show that promises to be exciting, and it can only begin after we return from this short break. I'll be your host. Ensure you don't go anywhere. My name is Jide Chichi Asia. Welcome back. This is the Arena. Now let's start off with the Arena Business Countdown. And on the Arena Business Countdown, we'll start off at number 5, where we have Aston Villa and their new sponsor, Monster Energy. Now, Aston Villa late last week unveiled Monster Energy as the club's new official energy drink partner. Now, Monster Energy was founded in 2002 and is now distributed over 140 markets worldwide with a range of products to match, and has several high-profile partnerships in a variety of sports. Now, Monster Energy brand has a huge following, and their ethos is not only providing quality energy drinks, but also to support a way of life lived by athletes, sports, musicians, and fans. Now, the 2-year partnership will see Monster Energy, the market's leading US drink company, promote the brand across all Aston Villa channels and engage with the club's global fan base. Now, speaking on the agreement, Aston Villa Chief Commercial Officer Nicola Ibertson revealed that the club was delighted to welcome Monster as its official energy drink partner. He said, and I quote, "Monster Energy is a global brand who are dedicated to enhancing the world for both athletes and fans. We look forward to working with them over the next 2 years." Now, Jimmy Goodrich, the SVP Marketing Monster Energy, commented by saying, and I quote, "We are incredibly proud to be able to announce our partnership with Aston Villa and look forward to bringing that same sense of excitement to the wider fan base. Like them, we are longing to step back into the capacity stadiums as soon as possible, and we are excited to how we can work with the club and fans both in the UK and in abroad to bring everyone closer together, whether digitally or in person." Well, it also looks like Monster Energy Drinks has already started reflecting positively in the performance of Aston Villa, as the Claret and Blue Army won their first game of the 2021-2022 Premier League season on Saturday. A 2-0 win over Newcastle United was courtesy of goals from Danny Ings and Anwar El Ghazi in either halves of the game that held at Villa Park. Now we move on to number 4 on the Arena Business Countdown. This one, it's the one that concerns Copper 90, who has appointed a new man in charge. Yes, football media company Copper 90 has appointed Patrick Berisha as its head of crypto media, a new role centered around guiding the firm's use of blockchain and crypto technology. Now joining the company with immediate effect, Patrick joins as leveraging of cryptocurrency by sports club becoming increasingly commonplace, particularly the use of non-fungible tokens, that's NFTs. Now, the use of blockchain technology by football clubs for fan engagement activities has risen significantly over the past year, and Copper 90 has described the space as something the sporting content world will need to evolve with. Now, a number of leading football teams and leagues have begun to leverage NFTs and fan tokens as means to better engage their fans, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic, when the spectators were unable to attend matches in person. Now, the Premier League, Portuguese Football Federation, French Football Federation, and the German Football Association have all explored the possibility of launching NFTs in recent months, with former 2 partnering with Socios.com and the later 2 with Sorari. Now, Socios.com in particular has enjoyed considerable amount of success in the sporting space, having secured agreements with a plethora of major clubs, including AC Milan, Atletico Madrid, Arsenal, Barcelona, Everton, Inter Milan, Juventus, Manchester City, and Paris Saint-Germain. Now, commenting on his new role, Berisha remarked, and I quote, Copper 90 are leaders in the football media space, creating exciting and interesting content for football fans around the world, as well as incredible brands. I am looking forward to joining them as I enter this new paradigm of fan engagement, creator economies, and media. Now, prior to joining Copper 90, Patrick worked in various projects in the media, sports sector, financial services, and blockchain space, which has also seen him work as a multi-award-winning podcast producer, developing Blockchain Insider by financial services consultancy that is called 11.F5. Now we move on to number 3 and talk about the Spanish La Liga. Yes, there's a new law in place, and now we take a look at that. Now, a law that was introduced in the Spanish football, which bans betting sponsors from jersey sponsorship and the branding of football kits, has resulted in a situation where many as 6 as 20 of the La Liga teams will be without any main kit sponsor this season. Now, after the first round of matches in the new campaign, only Real Betis, who switched from Betway to Find Network, a special Spanish telecoms firm, and Valencia that left Bwin to take up Socios fan token, have managed to sign a new main sponsor to replace their forbidden betting sponsor based on the requirements of the law. Now, Spain implemented a strict gambling restrictions act that prohibits gambling firms from being able to sponsor stadiums, equipment, uniforms, and any other form of football club. The declaration expands to restrictions that already prevent similar sponsorship on youth outfits. Now, all of these restrictions are part of the country's royal decree on advertising, which mandates licensed gambling companies to only advertise between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. daily. Now, in October last year, the Spanish Ministry of Consumer announced to all top football tier teams that any sponsorship agreements already in place with gambling agencies and betting companies must close at the end of the 2020-2021 campaign. Now, clubs that had sports gaming firms as their primary jersey sponsors had to block or remove those marks based on the temporary ban that began on March the 31st. Now, the ban of betting sponsors could account for losses around 80 million euros for the Spanish professional football industry as a whole of the time when they are dealing with the effects of the pandemic on football clubs. Now, teams still without kits brands include the likes of Sevilla, one of the most prominent so far, Alaves, Leganes, Granada, Mallorca, Osasuna, and none of them have gaming companies on their shirts anymore. Levante only recently replaced Betway with Jedesco. Now, there are indications that gambling activities across Europe could lead to similar legislations elsewhere. A few other countries could outlaw betting for football kits following the step of the Spanish Football Federation. Now, however, in Britain, they are Betting is part of the culture. For instance, Premier League chief Richard Masters had previously spoken out on the issue, saying back in February that he believed that while some regulation was needed, soccer clubs will be able to have sports betting partners. Now, on number 2, we come to the local scene and talk about Nigeria's athletes who just concluded their stint at the Under-20 Championship. Now, the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, has announced that there will be cash awards for Team Nigeria athletes who won medals at the just concluded World Athletic Under-20 Championships in Nairobi, Kenya, where 200 countries participated. Now, with 4 gold medals and 3 bronze medals, a total of 7, Nigeria finished at 3rd on the medals table at the end of the competition. Now, the cash awards announced will see the athletes receive $5,000 for gold, $3,000 for silver, and $2,000 for bronze medals. Now, this means Nigeria's medal-winning athletes would estimably be rewarded with the total sum of $26,000, which amounts to 10.7 million naira. Now, Dare had charged and promised the athletes before the championships began that those who do the nation proud will be handsomely rewarded. Now, already by the close of the World Championship, Nigeria had recorded her best ever outing in history at the championship with 4 gold and 3 medals. Now, Nigeria's 4x400 meters mixed relay team, comprising of the likes of the athletes who ran, started the gold rush before Imobong, Nseuko, and Udodi Omuzurike won the respective finals of the women's 400 meters and the men's 200 meters events in the dominant fashion. Now, Nigeria's women's 4x400 meters relay team picked the country's last gold on Sunday, the final day of the championship. Favour Ofili and Chinecherem Nnamdi won bronze medals respectively in the women's 200 meters and the men's javelin for Team Nigeria, as well as the women's 4x100 team who picked up bronze in the relay event. And all these athletes would be receiving some dollars from the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Now we move on to number one. And on number one, we have the one that concerns change of ownership with a new platform. Now, the owner of private equity support at Go.com, a football website, has acquired Italy's largest digital football news provider as the group expands its reach of top leagues and teams. Now, the transaction, which marks the first major expansion of Football Co., owned by Integrated Media Company, a subsidiary of TBG Capital, a private equity firm in the United States. Football Co., which bought a majority stake in Go.com in a $125 million transaction last year from sports streaming business DAZN, is targeting $100 million in annual revenue. Now, approximately 4 million football fans promoted by Go.com use the website and social media each month, founded by majority shareholder and publisher Paolo Pallavincino. Now, CalcioMercato.com's double-digit million transaction adds 12 million monthly visitors. Now, online sports sites have proved heavyweight competitors in their coverage and have sought investor interest. Now, Go.com, which competes with Disney's ESPN, secured an exclusive video interview with Lionel Messi when a former FC Barcelona star first considered leaving the Spanish club last year. Now, Athletic, a US-based subscription site equivalent to $500 million after successfully expanding coverage to the Premier League and other top football tournaments across Europe last year. Now, in June, Sports Illustrated owner US media group Maven raised $20 million in shares and acquired a Spawn website which covers the sports such as National Football Leagues and National Basketball Association, which is the NBA. And those 5 stories make up our big 5 right here on the Arena Business Countdown on today's show. We'll go on a short break right now. When we get back, we'll go into the discourse of the day. There is the football that went down over the weekend, the violence that was recorded in France, and of course, the under-20s to talk about.
She ran in the Olympics in the mixed form. If the seeding based on the results from the rounds count for anything, the medalists should come from lanes 4, 5 and 6. That's Sylvia Chalanga of Kenya, Liskovic of Poland and Uko of Nigeria. And it is the fastest woman in the field, Cornelia Leskovic, who has gone out strongly and leads as we approach the halfway point. Nearest challenger is Uko, who's trying to hold her, but the bend is in favour of the Polish athlete. And some charges coming in on the inside there from Mohan of India. How does the stagger see her come off the bend? Challenging for a medal is the answer. It's Poland 1, Nigeria 2, India on the inside. And the Nigerian is attacking over the last 30 metres. She is going to take this. Uko wins it for Nigeria. So they were the medalists from celebrating that bronze medal. But it's gold for Nigeria. On Wuzurike leading them into the straight. What's the 100-metre champion got? He's got to have a lot to come back off this one. It is the Nigerian Wuzurike who's going to get away.
Welcome back. Now, going straight into the main discourse of the day. Joining me on the show right now is football and tennis expert and sports. Generally, he loves to talk about sports in the person of Joba Ogunwale. Welcome to the show, Joba.
Thank you for having me again.
Okay, let's go straight into it, Joba. Let's start off with the under-20s. I mean, quite an interesting fanfare over the weekend. We saw how the Olympics didn't go down so well for Nigeria's contingent, but Nairobi proved to show that there looks like there's hope for Nigeria, talking about Paris 2024.
Yeah, as you said earlier, the Olympics was actually an embarrassing show for the Nigerian team. Just 1 bronze and 1 silver for us. But it's a good thing that we've put the disappointment behind us. So now we actually won 4 golds and 3 bronze medals at the World Athletics Under-20 Championship, which I think is our best outing. And going forward, it looks promising for Paris 2024. What I would just need is that the government and the Athletics Federation should actually not neglect these athletes. They should keep on motivating them, sending them out for training and all that, so that by when Paris 2024 come, they will be in top shape to compete for the medals.
Top shape. Top shape is it's good. We are talking about top shape now. I mean, it's not until it's too late and we do something like this. Well, if you're not aware of what's been going down, 4 gold medals actually, and 3 bronze medals, the likes of Imobong Nseuko getting a gold medal right there in the 400 meters. Talk about Onwuzurike, he got a gold medal also, but in the men's 200 meters. I mean, these are all athletes that are 20 or under, and it's good to see that they are doing Nigeria so proud. Let's see how it pans out. Let's see. We are already hearing some of them are getting scholarships abroad. Let's see how it pans out. We'll keep our eyes on these athletes and see what comes out from the future for them. Let's move on now and talk about the one that went down over the weekend. And Joba, lots and lots of games from this weekend. But I mean, for me, I would say my standout has got to be the fan violence we experienced right there in France. And it's not something we want to be talking about at this point.
Imagine in 2021, we are still talking about fans, illegalism, and all that. This dominated the football sphere in the 1980s and the 1990s, and yet almost 30 years later, we are still talking about it. What happened between the game in the game between
Marseille and OGC
Nice yesterday was actually an embarrassment to football, and I'm really happy with what Marseille players and the Marseille team did.
But let's talk about what they did. Do you actually think there would be a retrace of steps by the French Liga? I mean, they awarded 3 points and 3 goals to the home side. Do you actually think there will be a retrace?
Yeah, I think by the time they look back at it, I think they will ask, probably maybe, I know there will be a sanction for OGC Nice, because I don't think this will be the first time their fans will be displaying that act. And I think Marseille were in their right to actually refuse to play the game, because their security was being threatened. So I think once they look back on it, I think the French football authorities would will probably say the game should continue as the time is stopped, and I'm sure there will be a fine or a sanction for probably ban them from having fans in their stadium for maybe like 3 games or so. But I think there will be a sanction for OGC Nice.
Okay, a sanction for OGC Nice is what he says. Lots and lots of games went down over the weekend. Like I can tell you right now, England was one of those leagues where we saw lots and lots of results. We'll take everything together because I mean we are running out of time. England, Spain, and Italy. Let me quickly run you through some of the results from the English Premier League before I come back and talk about them. The ones from the weekend started off with Liverpool and Burnley. 2-0 is how that one ended on Saturday for Liverpool and Burnley. And Sadio Mane scoring one of those games. One of the goals for Liverpool. Aston Villa winning their own game also against Newcastle United. Crystal Palace and Brentford a goalless draw. Leeds United and Everton a 2-2 draw. And Manchester City 5-0 winners over Norwich City. And Brighton and Hove Albion winners over Watford. Why Southampton and Manchester United later on Sunday 1-1. That's how that one panned out. Spurs and Wolverhampton Wanderers 1-0, and then Chelsea were 2-0 winners over their city rivals Arsenal. Later today would be the one between West Ham and Leicester City. You also have results from other leagues, the likes of Mourinho's side winning over the weekend. You have the likes of Barcelona. An interesting game yesterday, actually on Saturday, the one that went down in Laliga. And also their rivals, Real Madrid, 3-3 draw in that one with their opponents, Levante. And talk about Atletico Madrid also. They were able to win their game, the defending champions of La Liga. And when you move on to Serie A, the likes of Juve were unable to win their opener of the season. Talk about Napoli. Nigeria's Victor Osimhen getting a red card in that one. And more games also in Serie A that would involve this time around Jose Mourinho's AS Roma 3-1 winners over their opponents. But quickly, Joba, lots and lots of results. I mean, from England to Spain to Italy, even Germany. What game would you say stood out for you this weekend?
Personally, because I'm Nigerian, I will say the Napoli game. Osimhen had a disappointing start, not the ideal start to the season. He was under a lot of pressure going into this season already because of what happened, missing 3 months of action due to a shoulder injury and coronavirus. Also, there was a lot of pressure, especially with the price tag he came in with last season. So to start like that, it was really a disappointment. It was really disappointing, especially if you look at the nature of the red card. His emotions got to him. You could say it was harsh, but I don't think there was any reason for him to show the defender. And looking at it now, he's going to miss three games. The games against Genoa, Juventus and Udinese, and potentially miss another 5 games because of Nigeria's involvement in the Africa Cup of Nations. So it's already looking
like
the next
might not get his place back in the team.
The next 3 months is actually key for him because he needs to start justify the heavy price tag that Napoli paid for him. They paid a club an African record fee to sign him from Lille. So he needs to start showing that okay, is worth the price that Napoli paid for him.
Okay. I mean, it's been wonderful doing this with you, Joba, reliving games that went down over the weekend. Maybe we'll get to talk about some of these games some more later on another day's show, because I mean we've run out of time at this point. So
thank you for having me.
Okay, and for you who's joined us for today's show, I'll say it's been a wonderful time having you on the show today. Yes, I mean, we'll always be back to talk some more sports right here on the Arena, because it's what we love to do right here, talking about the stories emanating from the world of sports, as well as dabbling into the business side of sports right here on the show. I'll be back some other time, because he that fights and runs away definitely lives to fight another day. Until next time I call you away, my name is Jide Chichid Ezie.